Okay, so today's a really interesting day. To preface, I've been an iPhone Max user since the Maxes came out. But today, I think all of that is changing. We're going to take a look at the iPhone 12 mini, compare it to the Max, and then we're going to wait a few days and you'll hear what I have to say about the mini and Max phones. And I think you'll want to stick around because what I have to say may shock you. And welcome to the show. My name is Alex and this is TechFlow. Welcome back. Today is a very, very exciting day because in front of me right now I've got two of Apple's latest releases. Now we're going to go ahead and start with the 12 Pro Max. I've ordered both of these because I am usually a big phone type of guy. Here is the 11 Pro Max. This has been in my pocket for the last year. The problem is though, if you put this 11 Pro next to the 12 Pro, you can see, well, on the picture that the 12 Pro is slightly bigger. We get a bigger screen on this. These boxes getting super thin, by the way. Let's jump straight into the 12 Pro Max. Okay, first time holding this. It feels like a prototype device. Compared to my previous phone, this feels much nicer to hold. Okay, and there she is. Quite possibly my new daily driver for the next year. And I've had this thing in my hand for 5 seconds. It screams brand new. Like, look at the edges on this. And as you can see, it's been in my fingers for half a second and it's already picking up so many fingerprints. Oh God. So the biggest thing with these new iPhones, and more so with the 12 Pro Max, the reason you will get this phone is because of these 3 sensors, or should I say 4 sensors, because we've now got LiDAR on the back of the 12 Pro. So if we actually bring in my previous 11 Pro here, you can see that the sensors are dramatically bigger. That means you're actually getting a bigger sensor size on the 12 Pro. What does that mean, Alex? Bigger sensor? How's that going to help me? Well, pretty much everywhere, because photos, when you take them, need light. The bigger sensor you've got, the more light can hit the sensor. I have picked this phone up because of my small hands, and I'm thinking, if I can get the same iOS experience but down at a phone this size, maybe I'll not use my phone as much, which is probably a good thing. Okay, exact same unboxing experience here, and as you can see, I've gone for the little baby blue one. And here's our big one, just for reference, 12 Pro Max, 12 Mini. The 12 Mini looks much more inviting to me. It's the phone that I want to pick up. It looks more fun. I would hazard a guess in my mind that this looks intimidating versus this little baby phone. Look at that, and the weight difference. That's mental. The notch is obviously gonna look a load bigger on the mini phone than it is on the Pro Max. However, we're only gonna see that notch once we get a white background up on these phones. There we go. Look, you can see it here on the 12 Mini. It does look quite big actually. There's no charger included here. I would be okay with it if in the box they included a Lightning to USB charger, not a USB Type-C charger. Yes, Apple are probably right saying that everybody has USB chargers around. Correct. Not USB-C though, so I think they've shot themselves in the foot here. Unlike what we're about to do and sponsor this video by Anker, because they have sent me their brand new charger, which is, well, simply better than all the Apple chargers put together, and it's cheaper. So I'll put a link to this in the description. This is super inexpensive compared to Apple's chargers that you, well, don't get in the box, you have to buy separately. And it will also charge your iPhone up to 3 times faster. And obviously, it's tiny as well. I think it's even smaller than Apple's own variant of USB-C chargers. So looking at the output of here, it's actually the same size as a standard 5-watt charger, but you're actually getting 20 watts of output here, which is actually the fastest charge that these brand new iPhones can receive. So if you guys are looking to get a brand new USB-C charger for any phone for that matter, might not be a new iPhone, then take a look at this. Anker, thanks for sponsoring the video. We'll put that link for you guys in the description. An iPad Pro, it's the wrong way around, but you get the point. You can see that this 12 Pro Max is absolutely huge. When people say these are phablet-sized phones, they really aren't lying. Even the 11 Pro, it's almost blowing my mind how big this phone is. And I think this is the year where I'm actually gonna have to skip away from the bigger phones, simply because my small hands, they just ain't cutting it, mate, which is why I have the 12 mini right here, because now you can see it's a different ball game. My small hands, yeah, but I can reach all the way up here to the activity rings, whereas on this phone, there's no way. I'm having to hold the phone physically differently. The main thing for me really being a creative is the cameras. The reason why I picked up this phone, yes, it's rather on the large side, is because it has the good cameras on it. Whereas this one, well, it only has these two. But from what I've seen, reviews so far, there isn't that much of a difference. And right now I'm gonna test it myself. And then if we take our Pro Max right here, go on the camera app, you can see now obviously we've got our 3 lenses on here, so we have our 3 choices. We've got telephoto, we've got our zoom lens, which is now 2.5 times, not 2 times, so a bump up from previous generation by 0.5. And then obviously we've also got our ultra wide sensor, which is the same as found on our baby phone over here. But let's take our same shot right here, focus on the Caps Lock logo, take our shot, compare them side to side, and you guys can see on screen, zoomed in at 200%. Is there much of a difference? What are you guys seeing? Can you let me know in the comments? Zooming really far into the Caps Lock logo here, it's hard to say. It's definitely sharper here on the 12 Pro Max. Okay, so it's been a few days since my first initial unboxing. I wanted to take some time to gather my thoughts about Apple's brand new releases here. My first discovery is this. I've always been a Max phone user, meaning ever since Apple have made a bigger variant of their phones, I have used it. This is my previous daily driver, 11 Pro Max. Now with the 12, here it is. It's only slightly bigger, but it makes all the difference, especially with the boxier design of the 12 Pro Max. This thing feels huge to hold in the hand, and when it's not in your hand, it's in your pocket and is absolutely huge. Like, this is ginormous. Moving over to the Mini, this is where my SIM card currently resides. I am having such a fun time, emphasis on the word fun, down at this screen size. I do obviously a lot of business and pleasure stuff on my phone, but one thing I've discovered is that having a smaller phone like this for work, it's making me less stressed. Work isn't taking up or dominating my life. It sounds really, really strange to say, but this small phone is actually making me less stressed. And I know what people will be saying, but Alex, isn't the 12 mini the most inferior of the lineup? And yes, but that's something that I want to touch on. What is a pro? I have always thought to myself that if you are a pro, i.e. a professional, you take a lot of photos, you do a lot of editing, what have you, and so forth, then you need to get the pro phone because you are a pro. But I don't think that's what pro actually means anymore. I'm a pro in the video and photography world, it's what I do day in, day out, but I don't find myself needing to have these cameras, because I've got other cameras that I can use, and the cameras on the 12 mini are just insane. Just as insane as actually on the 12 Pro Max, which is meant to be better than the 12. Insane, right? Here's a few side-by-side comparisons, and I want you guys to see if you can actually tell me the differences in these photos, and more importantly, what picture was taken on what phone. Now obviously if you go for the Mini, you're going to miss out on those 65mm portraits that you can get with the telephoto lens over here on the Pro Max, and I did find myself, even over the last few days, becoming a cropper when I wanted to zoom in to a subject like these antennas. You can see with the 12 Mini it's kind of blurry, but with the 12 Pro Max I can see exactly what's going on. But it's not that much of a big deal. A lot of people have been asking me, Alex, what phone should I go for? And to be perfectly honest, if you want a small phone, I really wouldn't be worried about this one being the Mini. I am, well, a creative professional, and I am rocking this phone right now. It's absolutely fine. It takes great photos. It's a complete iOS experience. Everything is really, really fast. And here's the kicker, I can use it with one hand, and it fits in my pocket. But Alex, stop dancing around the elephant in the room. What's the battery life like on this phone? Well, because my phone is kind of a little bit smaller now, I'm not using it as much, which is great. I'm spending less time focusing on scrolling social media and just using my phone for what it's for, which is, well, interacting with the people around me, replying to messages, so on and so forth. I really like this, if you can't tell already. I understand there is groups of people out there who, I don't know, let's say do a lot of traveling and therefore would require a bigger phone screen because they watch a lot of films. And if that is you, then great, get a phone with a screen size to suit. But if you don't need the bigger screen size, like me, I mean, I thought I did the last 3 or 4 years, then the Mini is fine. But me, I use my phone as more of a gateway. I use this to cast videos to my smart TV instead of watching them actually on the device. I use this to control my music, which is playing out of my headphones or my hi-fi speakers. Suffice to say, the speakers on this 12 Mini are pretty insane for the size of this thing. But there you guys have it. Those are my initial thoughts. If you guys would like to ask any questions for our full review of both of these devices, then please let us know over on Twitter or in the comment section down below, right below that like button. But for now, guys, that's been my first impressions of the 12 Mini and 12 Pro Max. This thing is a stonker, and this thing is really cute. I really, really like it. Guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace. A bit of natural laughter there. Does it do it?